Are you ready to vibe? You're listening to Creepy Vibes Only.
Hey guys, hope you all had a great summer.
It's almost over.
I'm actually okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm very much of I prefer fall. Fall's just more fun.
Spooky season.
Spooky season. It's also Virgo season. Meow, 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 meow.
Lewis, don't climb on me, please.
So Steph and I, for the first time, get to record together since the pandemic started.
It's so weird.
Since we're double waxed.
I know.
And full of snacks. Milo was left at home because he had duties to perform.
Yeah, he's a babysitter now.
Yeah, really proud of him. He's really contributing to the family.
Yeah, he's matured.
He really has. He's grown so much.
Yeah.
He's just here to take care of Noah and live life. Lewis is still useless, so he's with us giving pedicures.
He's the welcoming party.
Yeah, he's just been snuggling with Steph, attacking Steph, and otherwise connected with Steph. Yeah, it's like I need to be snuggling a lot.
Do.
So we've got a fun one for you today. I actually don't really know what Steph's stuff is about, so I'm excited to have some good live reacts.
Excited to tell you.
Yeah.
Also terrified for yours.
I don't know why you are. Mine's pretty lighthearted. Actually, no, it's not lighthearted. I take that back. It's pretty heavy.
You have a trigger warning. So do I, but still.
Yeah, trigger warnings all around. Just generally for this episode, we will be touching on suicide as it pertains to our episodes.
And mine is infanticide.
Yeah. So if those things are just not for you, then that's okay, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah.
We still love you.
Before we start, though, I want to shout out to our listeners around the world. That's not just our family and friends that we're paying to listen.
Thanks.
So if ever you are listening, we want to say hi to our listeners in the UK, Spain, Ireland, Australia, Germany, Switzerland, and the US.
Also my Aunt Melody, who is sharing everything.
Oh, so very sweet. Nice.
It makes me so happy.
So hello.
Guys.
Let us know. Say hi on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you can find us.
Yeah, man.
We want to say hi, and we're jealous that you live in other cool countries.
Yeah.
We want to come visit.
We'll be there as soon as we don't feel terrified to fly. Because of Delta.
Yeah.
And Delta Plus. Also, get vaccinated.
Please. We want to travel again.
This is a pro-science podcast. Anyways, Steph, you want to get this party started? I'm so excited for your story.
I start?
Yeah.
Okay. Very exciting.
Lewis is excited. Hi, Lewis. Hi. Lewis literally just stuck his head up on Steph's lap. I'd like to hear about it.
So my story, it's multiple stories. So I am going to talk about the legends of water babies. So before I start, it is a Native American folklore. So I want to acknowledge that we are on the traditional unceded territory of the Anishinaabe people. And specifically, my story is focused on the Shoshone and Ute Native American folklore. If I did not pronounce that correctly, I am sorry. Let me know how to do it.
Yeah, we're here to learn.
And we do, since it's my story, I recognize I don't have access to all of the traditional wisdom and all of the traditional folklore and stories. So I may be missing parts, and my sources may have been incorrect in some things. So again, like in the last story about the Mahaha de Tickler, I've mentioned if anything that I say is incorrect, please let us know, and we will make a correction in the next episode.
Yeah.
So that being said, so stories and legends of water babies are very prevalent in Native American folklores in the Western United States. A lot of people believe that these stories are so prevalent to explain drownings and catastrophes and that not cool stuff. And one thing to note is I'm going to be focusing on 3 different stories / legends But there are multiple, like I had to stop myself. There's so many depending on the area and the specific tribe and the history. They also, I've read this really cool article where they explain how that story of like changed throughout history. So again, maybe what I'm talking about is not something that you've heard of. And if you have a different water baby story or legend, let us know so we can learn more.
Also, just like send us your stories. Just generally, we love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So we actually, interrupting my story, we we sent out a few posts and stories. We want to hear about your creepy, either like anything, ghosts, monster, true crime, anything. We want to hear about your stories. So send them to us either by email at cvopodcast@gmail.com or just for social media. And because we want to start doing listener episodes. So we want to have you guys have some space on this episode.
Yeah, Allie. I don't know if you've met her. She's really nice.
No.
One of my friends from work. Well, also from your work. She apparently has like a really good ghost story.
Oh, okay.
Wants to share
to tell us.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Okay, sorry. Tell me your story.
All right. So I'm going to start with some general characteristics. Hi, Lou. And then I'll go specifically into the different legends. So water babies are spirits, monsters, or ghouls.
Ghouls?
Ghouls?
You got it. Yeah.
Okay. Depending on the legend in the area, it depends between those three. They are small, childlike creatures that live in the water on the reserves. Water babies can either be tricksters that spend most of their time teasing and abusing nearby humans that just unluckily happen to be walking near their water. Or, in other legends, water babies are murderous creatures that either want revenge for their own murder or simply to satisfy their own desires.
Okay, I need to know, are they actual babies? Like, are they like petite?
They're like small, like childlike creatures.
Just emerging from the water.
Yeah.
That's
it depends
awful.
on the area too. There's some different shapes, and we'll get into that, but mainly they're small children that want to kill you.
That's haunting. Okay, great. Okay, cool. I'm gonna sleep really well. So well, Lewis.
All right, so moving into specifics. Again, trigger warning. This one talks specifically about infanticide.
Infanticide.
Okay.
You have it, yeah.
So this one is one of a very well-known legend. It's about Massacre Rock State Park, Idaho. So that is in Idaho, obviously.
No, Idaho. That's one of my favorites. Anyways.
We have 30 minutes. Focus.
Anchor.
All right. So this legend is from the Shoshone tribe. It is said that there's no time in all the reacher of them. There's no like time specifics, but the Shoshone tribe suffered a very severe famine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, famine, okay. And it was so severe that the villagers had to make a decision because they didn't have enough food for the people living, children, adults, senior, and the new babies. So they decided that they did not have enough food to feed both the tribe's people and the new mouths. So mothers were forced to make this very, very hard decision between either having their babies live this life of constant hunger leading to starvation, or to simply drown them in the water for them not to suffer this.
Oh my God.
Very dark. So most mothers, to avoid the prolonged suffering, chose to drown their babies in the lake. And it said that till this day, if you sit on the water banks very quietly, you will hear the cries of the babies looking for their mothers.
Oh my God.
However, that is not where the story ends, depending on the story that you hear.
Oh, good.
It is also believed that the babies survived. And they survived by growing gills and fins. And they learned to live in the river. Usually they would feed on fish. But, fueled by their anger, they became water spirits that would hunt humans to exact revenge on their mothers. So
Oh my god.
I'm not laughing. I'm nervous.
Yeah, the cope laugh.
So that is one of the legend of the water babies of Massacre Rock State Park.
Oh my god.
Another legend is in Pyramid Lake, Nevada. This is another story from the Shoshone tribes. A little different. This story is a story of a man who discovers a beautiful woman with a tail of a fish. He falls in love with her and decides to bring her back to the lake to marry her. However, when they get there, the tribe sees her and says, no, bring her back where you found her. Feeling rejected, she decides to put a curse on the water around. Soon after she put the curse on the water, a water spirit possesses a baby nearby. Mother comes to collect her baby. Baby then puts his new fangs into her and will not let go of the mother. So the medicine man, the only way that he could save the mom was by making a deal with the water demon. And he said, if you release the mother, the lake will be your domain forever. And that is why there is a water spirit now hunting, or it's his Pyramid Lake is his domain.
Jeez.
So those are two of the water baby legends that one is a trickster enacting revenge. Same thing with Massacre Rock. They either accepted their fate, are waiting for the mothers, or depending on the story, they're trying to get revenge.
Fuck, this is why you swim with a buddy.
Yes. Always buddy system.
Yeah, man. Jeez.
My third story legend. So these water babies are a little different.
Okay.
So this one is in Utah Lake, and it's from the Ute Native Americans. So they also have stories of water babies, but they're not exactly looking out for revenge on their mothers.
Okay.
These creatures are shape-shifting creatures named powa pigs, and they hunt humans in lakes and rivers of Utah. So these creatures they're basically small little dwarves.
Okay.
That either are the size of a human hand or a small child. They're very tiny, or the size of like a 3 or 4 year old.
You guys can see, but I was like looking at my hand like that is quite small. Okay.
So the description changes, but they all have long black hair. And in some stories, the powa pigs have the ability to shapeshift into an alluring woman just to get what they want.
Hey, Swang, what up?
So they have two methods of getting what they want, which is to drown people. Method one is, and this is, I'll specifically speak of one story. So method one is changing into an alluring woman to trick a man into coming to the water with them.
I'll say this is my nemesis. For those that don't know, I've got a pretty big stick up my butt about water, like drowning prevention and water safety. So this is like,
this story is for you.
I'm burning inside.
So in one story, a farmer fell asleep on a riverbank after a long day of work, but he woke up because he sensed that someone was next to him looking at him. He wakes up and this beautiful lady is lying down next to him being like, hey,
nice.
What's up?
Nice.
Second he saw her, fell in love with her. Love at first sight.
Can we visit that? Imagine you're in bed, just snoozing. And then suddenly, like, your ideal partner is just like, I would lose my shit.
Yeah, but he was on the river. She may have just been a beachgoer. She'd be like, hey, that guy's
still,
hot.
like, that is a personal bubble violation. If I'm chilling, like, by the lake at my cottage and I wake up and someone's like, sup, I'm going to throw hands.
Well, it depends who. Like, who's
if
your
I don't
celebrity
know
crush?
I don't care. I don't have a personal
if
relationship
it was
with
like
them.
Chris Hemsworth.
Probably throw sand at him.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I
would.
don't care who you are. If I don't know you in like a like close manner, like an intimate way, not even like in like a romantic intimate way, but just in like someone I don't have like a close relationship with, like gonna throw sand at you. I'm not gonna harm you unless I have to, but like.
So this guy, he was into it. He was happy.
He's a freak.
So since they fell in love, she convinced him to follow her into the water to meet her people. And then the farmer's family never heard of him again.
Yeah, no shit. Who the fuck do you think he was?
So the Powhatan also have another method, and this is where comes the water baby nickname. Powhatan are known to lure people into the water by mimicking the cries of babies in the middle of the lake.
Jeez.
So concerned people will go into the water, try to save a baby, to then either be swallowed whole and carried to the bottom of the lake to drown, or simply dragged down to the bottom.
It's kind of like the Wendigo.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. Just exploiting our weaknesses there, Powhatan.
So that's where they got the name Water Baby. And then the again, and maybe I super will not be pronouncing this right. The Unta Ure Ute tribe, in a book called Stories of Our Ancestors, they kind of explain where they came to. So why Powhatan exist. So they've I have some direct quotes, but not this part here. So they basically explain that there is a man named Pahapush, who was a very stout man who was wrestling different people on a certain day. He won every single match, and then the creature Wildcat showed up, and he challenged him to a wrestling match. Feeling confident, he went against the Wildcat, but obviously lost and was thrown in the middle of the lake. The Wildcat said to Pahapuch, "You will stay in the water all the time now, and people will call you Water Indian." So now it is believed that Pahapuch, since he now is stuck in the water, is very lonely.
Oh.
So to solve that, he lures people to him to then become Water Indians like him. And when you become a new member of his group, it is now your job to go recruit more people. And the cycle continues. Every time there's a new one, he goes and murders more people, and so on and so forth, until they're no longer lonely.
It's like a really fucked up multi-level marketing campaign.
So, short, but those are 3 of the main legends of water babies.
It's fucking haunting. Okay. Jesus. Whew. But like, wow. And sorry, I'm like stuck on like the moms having to drown their kids.
There's like another story where it was a bit too dark, and I didn't read the full of it, but they're talking how the tribe would throw the babies into the water to test them, and the weak ones drowned, but then the spirits would stay in the lake, and they would enact revenge by dragging people in the water and all of that.
Jeez.
So there's like, I don't remember the article. It's somewhere in my notes. I don't remember which article, but they just went through like every single water baby like folklore legend, because they all change depending on the tribe in the area. Super interesting.
Pretty compelling, like tales of warning.
Yeah. And that's what like all of the articles I read, like the main purpose of this is to be careful around the water.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if there's going to be a trickster or a demon trying to drown you.
Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we're life jacket guys. Some with the buddy.
Yes.
Learn to swim. Dang. Jesus. All right. I wish I could be like, and on to a lighter note. Not really. This is a mixture. So I'm going to be covering some cursed cinema today.
Very nice.
So there's like one example that includes a TV show, but by and large, these are all movies.
So go get your crystals and your sage and get ready.
Yeah, fuck.
Because Emma will curse us again.
Yeah. I'm here for it. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of go through. I'll let you guys know like the gist of what the plot is, because I feel like I would be annoyed if I was like, well, what's the movie I'm talking about?
I also haven't seen any of those movies, so.
I've only seen like one of them.
Oh.
I think so. We can do a little screening.
Perfect.
So the first one is this one kind of cracks me up. Okay, not because of the content of the movie, just that like it's pretty blatantly like it's all PR stunt. Like the curse. So it's called Antrum. So it's a movie that was released in 2018, and it's one of those like found footage movies, kind of like Paranormal Activity was, and like famously the one started all like Blair Witch Project. Mm-hmm. And basically, they're like, we found this footage of this movie from the 1970s, and everyone who's seen it dies.
Oh, very nice.
Thanks, Liz. I'm getting like a pedicure from my dog. Lulu. Which just means he's just licking my feet. So I apologize if I laugh any more than I already do. But like the gist of the plot of that movie from the 70s is that a girl and a boy go into the woods to drag a hole to hell. And you might be like, well, what?
Why?
Why'd you do that? So this little boy was under the impression that his dog, who had been recently euthanized, was going to be sent to hell, like its soul.
Oh no, doggies don't go to hell, they go to heaven.
Yeah, there's a movie about it, but that movie hadn't come out yet, I don't think. So like, how would he know?
Yeah, that's true.
How would you know without that classic children's movie? All that go to heaven.
Totally.
So he and his sister were like, well, let's go get his soul.
Oh, so cute.
And unsurprisingly, it doesn't go well.
No.
The curse around the movie is that if you watch it, you die, kind of like The Ring.
Okay.
And the whole like what is I think obviously a PR stunt is like there were 2 screenings of this movie in the 1970s, and everyone who went to those screenings died. So the movie, I guess, has this like 8-minute long. I know from what I've read, it has an 8-minute long like documentary style clip where it's like, this movie is dangerous.
It's like Lewis narrating.
Lewis is going into Steph's purse to steal her keys because he's that kind of guy.
Lulu, leave my keys alone. I have to leave.
Eventually. Oh. Hi, Lewis. He's like, now that it's mom's turn, I'm gonna be a brat. So yeah, that came out in 2018. So if you watch it, let us know what you think of it.
If you survive.
Yeah. The next one never actually got made.
Oh.
It's never gotten off the ground. So it's called A Confederacy of Dances.
Okay.
And all I know is based off a book by John Kennedy Toole. So this one has been cursed in the fact that like it has never gotten off the ground because the first iteration of it, back when like Hollywood was really behind it and everyone was like, let's get it done, the starring role went to John Belushi.
Okay.
And he died of accidental overdose, famously.
Okay.
Quite sadly. Next, the role went to John Candy, who also died.
I'm not stopping.
Really young, which is like very sad. And he had a heart attack at like in his young years. And
so they're all saying that they're dying because they're casted in that movie.
Yeah, and like I mean, that's the curse. They've all have died of unfortunate circumstances. And then Chris Farley next got the role, and he also died very young, and he also died of accidental overdose very sadly. And after that, so the context is like this was going to be filmed in New Orleans, this movie. Okay. The film commissioner of Louisiana's like the person in charge of it, who was a proponent of the movie, was fucking murdered. And then Hurricane Katrina happened. Oh. So this like poor movie has just like I don't know if it'll ever happen now because it's just been
fuck. Like if all of this happened, like don't take the role. She'd be like, yeah, you know what? Good luck. No, thank you.
Yeah, like so sad.
Oh my god! So like the universe really doesn't want that movie to be made.
Apparently, it's like no,
not happening. Never.
Fuck. So next we have The Conqueror. So this movie was in 1956.
Okay.
And it's basically John Wayne, of course, playing a Mongolian chief because
why not?
Yeah, as a white European descended man,
he can do whatever he wants.
So he's playing Temujin. Okay. Who's starring again alongside Susan Hayward, also a European white woman who plays a Crimean Tatar woman. So the Crimean Tatars are like an ancient people. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, his character goes on to become Genghis Khan.
Okay.
Yeah. So there were 220 people, thereabouts, in the crew for that movie. 91 got cancer by 1979.
Holy shit.
So at first that's like, holy fucking curse, Batman. This was easily preventable because this movie was filmed in St. George, Utah, which is near the Yucaslat Atomic Testing Range in Nevada.
God.
And of course, atomic testing ranges cause cancer.
Yeah.
Like, we know that. And the town of St. George is still plagued by this because people still live there and they have a very high incidence of cancer.
Why don't they just fucking burn the town? Like, go elsewhere.
Because social welfare systems.
Yeah.
Are not, they need to be. Anyways. Yeah, Conqueror. Also, pretty cursed.
But isn't it fucking shitty that 2 main actors were playing people they shouldn't be playing? Like, nothing happened to them?
I don't know. I feel like John Wayne lived a long life. I'm not sure what Susan Hayward. Probably not. Like, I mean, maybe.
Not okay.
Yeah, 91 got cancer by 1979. So that's within 23 years.
So sad.
So next up, this one's heavy. I'm sorry, guys.
Here we go.
So Poltergeist. So one of like the perfect horror movies. Poltergeist is about a...
Have you seen it?
No, but it's on my list of movies I need to watch. We'll have to watch it for Halloween. Yeah. So for those of you who haven't seen it or heard of it, I don't know what rock you're under. I haven't seen it myself, so I can't complain. Basically, it's like the quintessential haunted house movie. So these like demonic ghosts come into a house, the haunting gets worse and worse and worse.
Okay.
And it escalates, and it's like the consummate horror movie. My description of the plot on my notes is a haunted house, LOL. So death has plagued this movie. So right after the movie came out, Dominic Dunn, who played the like kind of main female role, and she was only 22 at the time, was murdered by her boyfriend. Her ex-boyfriend, I should say. He strangled her to death in her driveway. She basically went into like a coma and never woke up. And he only spent 3.5 years in jail.
Oh, fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm. He was charged with voluntary manslaughter.
I have no words.
Yep. And then Heather O'Rourke, who plays the little girl, who's like the most like well-known character of the movie. Like, she's kind of the one that shows up in all the media. She died of a misdiagnosed intestinal block very shortly after. She's only 12, so she died of septic shock and sudden death.
Oh my god.
Julian Beck died unexpectedly of stomach cancer right after. Another one of the people involved with the film. Will Sampson died shortly after as well of a surgical complication from a kidney operation.
Holy.
And then this has much less meat and is kind of the sillier note to kind of bring levity. One of this like crew member has alleged for years that they used real skeletons as props.
Okay, remember.
Which is not true.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, so like that one, and then the fact that like they're like someone was doing demonic summons or using or like
okay, I've heard of this movie.
Yeah. So that has no backing. It's a really cool story, but like there's like no real proof that actually happened, and like why would you do that? It's way cheaper to not use a skeleton.
Was it that movie, or it could have been another movie? But there's a movie where it was like a horror, where one of the crew members who like. Actors kept saying like he was like a little off but very quiet, but he turned out to be like a serial killer.
What?
I'll have to look into it, but there's like a crew member where people were like, oh, he's strange, but he's just quiet, but like he would go on set and then he would like offset, will go murders people and then come back, and like the movie was about a serial killer or something like that.
Jesus, we'll look into that. Yeah. If any of you know, like and subscribe. Get in our DMs. Jesus Christ. All right. This is also this is sad. I don't know why I did this to us. So Superman. So the TV show, like The Adventures of Superman, like what really like got it going back in the 50s. So George Reeves, who was It's Okay. No. He died of suicide in 1959. He and his wife had been drinking that night, and he'd had a failed career by that point. And he unfortunately died by suicide using a firearm. There is a bit of controversy around it, though.
Okay.
So some other actors at the time made allegations that his death was actually a murder. And my understanding of the evidence is that his fingerprints were actually on the gun. So there's a bit of a conspiracy there.
The wife?
So they think it was actually a mafia-involved hit.
Oh, shit.
Because he like owed money and stuff. And, yeah. And then, of course, Christopher Reeve, who famously played Superman in the movies.
Okay.
As many of you may know, he was thrown from his horse and was left paralyzed, I should say, from the neck down.
Oh.
He died at 52.
Oh.
I know, very sad.
Is that the only Superman movies that are cursed?
Yeah, thank God.
That
we know of.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What do
Henry
you have
Cavill
to say,
saying-
Lewis?
Lewis is very upset. So The Exorcist, which we spoke about in a previous episode, which is the only one I've seen on this list. It is top-notch.
I've never seen it.
So good.
Sure.
So the gist of the plot, for those of you who don't remember, which is fine, it's like, what, episode 3?
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. A wee lass catches a wee demon
Okay.
in her body,
Okay.
takes over her soul. That's not good. And she is fairly gross, and she gets exorcised by a young priest and an old priest.
Okay.
So there's a good number of curses surrounding this
Which
one.
is like on brand.
Yeah, like if you're like, man, I have a cursed movie, The Exorcist. So a set burned down.
Oh.
Linda Blair was injured on set.
Oh.
Ellen Burstyn was injured on set.
Oh, nice.
Jack McGowan, right after the movie, during post-production, died of influenza during the London endemic that happened. Vasiliki Mayaros, who was like the old lady who was also wild in the movie.
I don't know, I'm not nodding. I'm like, oh, yes,
Yes, of course, very
I
familiar.
have no idea.
She died at least of natural causes.
Okay.
Right after the movie ended.
Well, if she was old, I guess it was like,
Yeah, it was just still during post-production, so it was like quite a time.
right on.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I don't have I don't put a lot of weight on these whole curses, but I thought this was a very.
I believe them.
I believe. I want to believe. Jesus. So next is the story of Steph and her future child.
First thing I was like, what?
What? Do you know something I don't know? Yeah, Steph. So the gist of The Omen, and there's a remake of it, but the original's supposed to be pretty good.
Okay.
So an American ambassador and his wife have a child who is stillborn.
Okay.
Right after that child is stillborn, without even telling his wife, a priest comes up and is like, hey, this kid's mom died in childbirth. Why don't you take this child?
Okay.
And he's like, this is the best idea. I'm not going to tell my wife, but I'm going to adopt this child.
She will know.
Yeah, how are they going to know? Nobody's going to know. And things go from bad to worse. Shit starts going down around this child. People start dying. It's bad. And this child is the Antichrist.
Okay. What's the name of the movie again?
The Omen.
Okay.
So there's a good number of curses around this one too.
Of course.
So while on separate flights, Gregory Peck and a film executive were both on planes. Both their planes were struck by lightning, which is not good for planes.
Oh. You
don't want that. On the same aviation-based note, another plane that they almost used for filming a scene, and they basically were going to use it up until the last minute when it was switched over a different one.
Mm-hmm.
Crashed and killed all the people on board.
Holy fuck.
Yep. And then an animal trainer who was used on set to film, was killed the very next day by a tiger.
Okay.
So not good.
No.
Not good. And so not good.
No.
That's.
I mean, he probably deserved it.
I mean, it was like the 1970s, so the way they were treating
Yeah.
animals was probably not great.
I'm on the side of Tiger. Team Tiger.
Team Tiger, TT. R.I.P. And last but definitely not least is The Crow. So this movie.
For a second, I'm like, I know this movie, but I'm thinking of like Moira Rose's movie in Schitt's Creek.
Definitely not the same. So Bruce Lee,
Okay.
his son Brandon Lee, at 28, died during the filming of this movie,
Oh no.
which is largely what this movie is known for, despite being a movie. The gist of the plot is that a guy and his fiancée are murdered,
Okay.
but the guy comes back from the dead
Oh,
to get some revenge.
good for him.
I mean,
Water baby.
Jesus. Okay. So Brandon Lee died while he was 28, as I mentioned, in an accident. So they were filming a scene involving firearms, and the other actor fired a blank at him, but something had been lodged into the gun during a previous shooting weeks before, and I guess they hadn't checked it properly. So whatever was lodged into the barrel was projected into his abdomen, and he died of the injuries.
Oh shit! So he died because of the movie. Oh
Yeah,
no!
It's okay.
I know you're concerned,
It's
Lewis.
okay.
It's very sad.
Please don't stand on my leg like how you're gonna break it. Another crewmate who was only 26 was on a cherry picker, like the things that they used to put up lights.
Okay.
And it went to like a gully, and then while they were trying to get it out, they accidentally, like other crew members were trying to help him, but they accidentally knocked it into an electrical pole, and he was electrocuted, and like all his organs were like burned.
Holy
and
fuck!
I know he was near dead. I don't know if he died or not, but really serious. And then a prop truck caught fire.
Okay.
And then a hurricane destroyed all their street sets.
Holy shit!
Yeah, like
Insane.
yeah, like maximum first.
Lewis
is so upset. Lewis, it's okay. It's okay, Lewis. It's over.
I know.
It's all done.
It's a hard episode.
I know.
Don't
It's
eat
so
my computer.
sad. It's so sad.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's lots of cursed movies apparently.
We're not watching those movies. We'll get cursed.
You should watch the one that kills everyone that watches it. I know. It's so sad. I know. It's so
See, he got upset because you suggested that. He doesn't want us to die.
Like, no.
No one's watching the movie.
I want to live. Lewis. I love that Mike is picking up on these incredibly high frequencies.
Probably.
It's okay. Lewis, what do you need? What's wrong? You have to? Oh, you have to. Well, listeners, on that note,
Episode's over.
Episode's over. Lewis has had enough.
Lewis is tired of her shit.
He's really upset. He's a very delicate composition.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a sweet 95-pound baby.
Well, thank you for listening.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Enjoy.
For more content.
Oh no, this is going to be released next week. So
Yeah.
yay!
Yeah.
Fall. Maybe, no,
Yeah.
not.
Well, it's like not quite. Yay!
We're almost there.
Yeah.
Almost.
Oh my god! Next time we record, I'll be 30.
Oh,
So fun.
you're so old.
You're right. Thank you. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Turn on notifications. And we're gonna be on Amazon soon.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
we'll keep you guys posted on new developments.
Lewis just said goodbye.
Lewis is gone.
Lewis has left the building.
So with that,
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Creepy Vibes Only. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook by searching for Creepy Vibes Only Podcast. We absolutely appreciate and love your support, and you can do so by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts and subscribing to the show wherever you listen. If you wish to get in touch with us, you can send us an email at cvopodcast@gmail.com or leave us a voice message on our podcast's page on Anchor. We will talk to you in 2 weeks. Bye.